Please do bear with us only momentarily. An ice bucket.
An ice bucket.
Yeah, we don't want to put ice in the wine.
Pro tip,
Mm.
they beat the hell out of your glasses, but whiskey stones.
Oh, yeah, we don't have any whiskey stones.
Okay.
So for folks that are listening right now, if you have a wine that you want chilled down quick, I mean, again, an ice bucket. Like, do we have an ice bucket? Is there something that would fit the bottle of wine?
A 5-gallon bucket, 3 bottles of wine, bag of ice, and some water gets you there. It doesn't have to be fancy.
What about a tall-sided mixing bowl?
Oh yeah,
One of our white mixing bowls, maybe, honey. It's not bad, right? That'll do something.
Oh, that'll absolutely do something.
Yeah. Let's give it a try. Well, put the bottles of wine in first, and then open the ice up. This is going to be interesting. See, we've already got a couple of people watching right now. I think people are going to be interested to see how this all shakes out with us. Well, we just had a bunch of family leave, so.
Oh, gotcha.
Allegedly, and we all stayed 6 feet apart.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Have you had a good weekend, Chris?
I have, absolutely. I have.
I hope people are jumping in the comments and letting us know how their Memorial Day weekend is going, by the way. I think most people had today off, and just spending it with family, friends, hanging out, right?
Absolutely. Went fishing today.
Ooh, did you catch anything?
I did not. I went to a new spot that I think I'm going to really like, but first time I did have a couple hits, but no love.
No love, huh?
Was hoping to bring home some fish that I could have with these wines, actually.
Yeah. Do you know what kind of fish it was?
Trout. Probably a cutthroat.
Cutthroat trout.
Cutthroat.
Sounds mean and nasty. More guys jumping on. Welcome. Trisha, good to see you. Visiting family in Texas. I like that. I hope you guys like my Memorial Day themed microphone that I'm using here today. I think I might. I'm a big fan of this microphone now. Yeah, it was a good purchase at a pawn shop of all places.
Nice.
Yeah, I walked into this pawn shop and this fella, he recognized me, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. And then I said, "Can I look at the microphones?" And then he stopped and he goes, "You're that podcast guy." Oh, I don't know, a week ago maybe. Yeah, it was funny. And Sarah's here with us. Hello, Sarah. Ooh, there we go. That's a good idea.
I feel like I'm verging on redneck.
Nah, it'll be fine.
I'm gonna go do this where it's not so.
Okay, thank you. Got a few people showing up. Hi, Tracy. Sarah Tracy, excuse me. Let me see here. So how are you going to cook up those fish that you caught? Or were these catch and release?
I didn't actually catch any today.
Oh, you were just zenning out.
Yeah, got a couple hits, but didn't catch anything.
Got it.
All right.
This is great pod. We're just sitting here not saying anything. Okay, I'm done. I'm updating all of the sites, the areas that we need stuff.
Nice. Oh man. Sarah's always a smart one.
Hey, and StreamYard's working today. Whoop whoop.
Oh yes, I didn't even. Yeah,
Yes.
I like this. I like this. I am really excited about these wines.
Are you?
Yep, like stupid excited.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, if you're excited, I'm excited. Seriously, you're an expert, and so I know that when you're happy about something, I'm gonna be really happy about something. As long as it's not one of those cheesy flavored, you know what I mean?
We'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Ooh, that's getting cold fast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, would you turn that microphone stand a little bit? Sure. Thank you. Cory Ann's just rolling me up with some glasses. I'll start with the black cat, and we will get things rolling. I'm so glad that there are 6 people on right now watching us get set up. Nope, I think we're good. It's been a day, but you know what? I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah. It
You
has
to plug
been
in
a
your
day.
microphone, honey. Uh-huh. Nope. You just got to be comfortable with it.
Good thing nobody can see my pants. 'Cause I've got goat stuff on it.
Goat bits.
Yeah.
Hey, worse things have happened, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Why don't you scoot that mic stand back a little bit more?
This way?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And get that thing right up on you.
All right.
How are you doing, baby?
I don't know yet. Hold on. I've been like meal prepping and playing with goats and cleaning up after family. And hi.
Hi. Are you ready to
I'm
taste some
ready
wine?
for some wine. Yeah, that's good.
All right. We're going to get ourselves started here then.
Pardon my fork. Pardon my. Pardon my fork. Pardon my fork. Pardon my fork.
Pardon my fork.
Pardon my fork.
Pardon my fork from Japan.
Pardon my fork.
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 Whether you're a home cook, a chef, a restaurateur, or just like to eat, we've got something for everyone. So grab a plate and get an extra helping. Food for thought and knowledge for life on Pardon My Fork.
You can't hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh,
Hi.
hello and welcome to Pardon My Fork Small Batch Edition. This is Andy.
And this is Cory Ann. Hello.
We are joined by our perennial favorite, wine guy Chris. How are you doing?
Excellent. Pleasure to see you all.
Ooh, you're sounding especially lovely today. Like
Oh,
hot, nice, a little, sexy, a little boomy.
Are you describing a cantaloupe or Chris?
Why
That-
can't we have both?
that's what time on the river does to me. What can I say?
That's right. That's right. You went fishing today, and
Yeah.
had a little bit of zen, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nothing like going up a little creek and exploring it with a fly rod.
Well,
Nice.
we grilled some fish today.
Yeah, we did salmon.
Yeah, I did a hot grill / smoke on some salmon, and
Turned out well.
it turned out very well. And we have leftovers, and I tell you what, we're gonna enjoy it with some of these wines, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, sir.
So, what are we working on today? These are French whites.
Yeah, and these are all from one of my very favorite places in the world to explore wine-wise.
Hmm.
So they're all from the Loire Valley in France, and it's an east to west valley. The mouth of the valley opens up to the Atlantic Ocean, and for the most part, it follows the Loire River. And we're going to take a little trip today.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to take a trip with me?
I am.
All right, fantastic. Where are we starting off then?
Well, I'm going to start off with an apology and a caveat. My pronunciations of French words are not the greatest. I've got wine terms down, but yeah. So I'm going to struggle through some of these pronunciations, but we're going to start with this guy, and Chateau de la Ragotière. And this is from Muscadet. So this is the mouth of the river, where the river meets the ocean there, essentially. And
Muscadet, is that any relation to muscat or muscadine?
not at all. I know it's a little confusing. I mean, if it wasn't confusing, it wouldn't be French wine. But
and it appears to be a bit effervescent.
yeah, so these are generally bottled in a very, very fresh style. So you're going to see a little bit of dissolved CO2 in there. It shouldn't be bubbly on the palate per se, but just a little spritzy maybe. These are fresh, lower alcohol, bright, refreshing wines. And the varietal is Melon de Bourgogne, which generally you don't see planted a lot of places. There is a little planted here in Oregon too, though. Oh man, this just jumps out of the glass.
Man, that's good.
Where can you get this varietal in Oregon, Chris? Do you know the winemakers that might be growing this?
Yeah, so just about any maybe not any supermarket, but any like Trader Joe's or most supermarkets, you'll be able to find something like this. I know that this bottle they carry at Market of Choice in Corvallis, and just beautiful stuff. I've never actually had this producer or this bottling before, but what you're tasting is very, very fresh, very light. You were talking about cantaloupe earlier. That's one of the flavors I get off of this. I get a lot of flowers. It just dances, right?
Like spring in a glass.
It really is. It's very citric. Not, I shouldn't say citric, but it has a little bit of that acidity to it.
A little bit of lemon.
I am so impressed with this wine.
Okay, Chris, we have got some duck breasts in the fridge. I know this is traditionally with white meats and seafood, but dang.
I could see that. I think you're going to actually find a few things down the line that you're really going to salivate for with those duck breasts as well.
It's on a trip.
But so it's a very light, very fresh varietal, right? Is there anything else that you're getting? Any things that are not in the fruit category there?
Clover.
Okay.
I don't know why.
No.
That's jumping out at me.
It's a little bit peppery.
It's just really, I just finished cooking up my meal prep for the week. So I've been doing mustard greens and collard greens and bacon, and I roasted radishes and coconut oil. And so I'm really hanging out a lot in the brassica family right now.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely getting a lot of that greens kind of on the background. It's not a big forefront flavor.
What are you thinking, Chris?
So I'm actually getting a lot of those kind of little bitter greens going on with it. 100%. Something I was expecting to get in this that I'm not is a little bit of like a bready quality, or a little kiss of like, I don't know, you were talking about cheesy. Sometimes you'll see a little hint of that hiding underneath it all, because what they do with this is they do what's called aging on the lees. And so they age the wine on the spent yeast cells that, for this very, very light wine, adds a little bit of roundness, a little bit of structure. And I think I'm seeing this in some of the creaminess on this wine.
Yeah, it's just a hint.
Yeah, but not to the extent I was actually expecting.
There's some wines where they're really bright and bubbly, and they have got those citrus notes, those cantaloupe, fresh fruit notes, and then it kind of goes flat at the end and just ends on your palate. There's nothing lingering, and this does not do that.
Mhm.
If you've had a buttery Chardonnay, this has like that hint of butter and crackers just at the end, so that you don't feel like your palate was left high and dry.
Yeah. And speaking of, dairy products and crackers, all these wines are just going to scream for any kind of softer cheese, and are just gonna clamor for that kind of fare.
A triple cream brie, or
Ooh,
a
yeah.
nice soft chèvre with some apricots.
Now, one of my favorite things about Muscadet is that it is the quintessential cooking wine. And you've seen my kitchen. I have a little sign up, W.C. Fields quote, I cook with wine. It doesn't always make it into the food. Yeah.
There's so many varieties on that. I love to cook with wine. Sometimes I even put food in it. I love to cook with wine. Doesn't always make it in the pan. Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
Sarah says always.
Always.
Couldn't agree more.
And the rule of thumb is, if it's not good to drink, it's not good to cook with.
Right.
Absolutely.
So if you have a wine where you're like, oh, well, just imagine you're going to concentrate those flavors in the cooking process. So it's not going to make it any better.
Well, then do yourself a favor and don't ask an alcoholic for recommendations on wine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be cooking with MD 2020. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Ugh.
that's terrible. That's not even good for beer can chicken.
No.
But I mean, I have marinated chicken in wine before that wasn't the greatest.
Hey, people marinate chicken in Kool-Aid these days.
Ew, on purpose?
Oh yeah, it's a thing. Kool-Aid seasoned chicken is a thing.
Oh,
You know,
I'm going to blame COVID for that choice.
What would you call it? Skittles chicken?
No, just no chicken, none. Oh,
it doesn't sound good, but I have this morbid curiosity about it.
That's what I'm talking about. See?
No. You need to put that on our Facebook page and
Okay.
just say what is wrong with people.
And just denounce it straight out.
Yes.
Okay.
Grape flavored Kool-Aid man just run around in a Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, thank you. Bad things. We should get back to France. That's better.
Okay.
So I will say about cooking with wine, these guys generally are don't have a lot of oak influence, so you're seeing a lot of those fresh flavors. They're lighter in alcohol, so you can put a little in the dish, put a little in you, and you're not going to be plastered by the time your meal's ready.
Right.
And
He knows us too well.
right, and they're generally pretty low alcohol, right? I mean, this is 12% by volume, which is actually one of the higher ones I've seen. A lot of times you'll see them anywhere between 9 and 12.5%. And they're not expensive. This runs around $15 a bottle. A lot of times Muscadet you're seeing somewhere between 10 and 18. Every once in a while you'll get into the lower mid 20s, but that's kind of the range for this this area.
Very
that is
doable.
a very cheap, price point for a very drinkable wine. I'm really impressed with that. Wow. Well, so what's next on our journey across France here?
All right. So going up the river a little bit, and we are going to go to, there we go. Oh, too bright. There we are. Jassinière. And the Cuvée du Silex. And this is going to be a different experience altogether. You head up to the mid-Loire Valley. So we were in at the mouth of the river. And now you head up to the mid-Loire Valley. This is actually where this is grown is a tributary of the Loire. It's not right on the main river. And we get into some different varietals.
I love this. It has a quote on the back. Good wine is a necessity of life for me. Thomas Jefferson.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. What is going on here, Chris? I am blown away.
Oh, that's good.
Doggone
Okay, so this is Jassigné, and it is made with the Chenin Blanc grape.
Okay. There you go.
Jassigné is a lesser known area for Chenin Blanc, although the mid Loire Valley is really kind of where Chenin Blanc tends to really live. A lot of times, you'll see Vouvray is Chenin Blanc, can be off dry or sweet or sometimes dry. Savinier is Chenin Blanc, or Savinier Sancerre. I always get the two mixed up. Is Chenin Blanc, and that's probably, those are your better known. This is like the lesser loved little brother of the area, but absolutely fabulous wines coming out of it. And Chenin Blanc is really one of those great varietals that everybody needs to be drinking more of.
Yeah, I 100% support that life decision. I mean, it's so complex. You smell, I don't know, like apricots and pineapple.
But it's like a complex candy. It's sweet and fruity and fresh.
There's definitely, okay, I'm getting like a grapefruit, but I feel like it finishes with a lychee, almost a little Gewürztraminer, just sneaking in the back there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like a Gewürz feel to it. I'm with you.
So
It's fabulous.
So Chenin Blanc, like Gewürztraminer, are both aromatic varietals. So
Yes.
they have a lot of those aromatic aspects to them, and I think that's where you're seeing it. You're also getting a lot of very sweet flavors, although more tropical. And with Gewürz, you're seeing very floral driven flavors usually.
Yeah. Like this is.
Oh.
Is there like a guava thing in this? There's no passion fruit.
Tropical fruits, though. I'm with you.
And then there's that core of acidity that keeps it together. So one of the differences between this and Gewürz is that generally this is Gewürztraminer is a lower acid wine, which is going to make it great with very spicy foods. This is actually generally a higher acid wine. So Chenin Blanc produces a lot of acid, and lower pH, and so that really holds all of the flavors more toward the center of the palate. It's still fairly expansive, but it's going to make it really friendly with a lot of different dishes. Maybe not as friendly with the spicy food as Gewürztraminer, but I could see you going there with this one.
Could handle some Thai, that's for sure. And it's got a great like creamy mouthfeel. So I'm in love.
I gotta tell you guys, I'm noticing a lot of locals that are coming on today to watch the podcast. Once this whole COVID thing is over, we need to do some live tastings.
We need to go to France.
Well, France, but I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, people need to be tasting these wines to really understand what it is that we're talking about, because this is incredible. I don't know where a person can go to find this. I know our friend Andrea, who just got on, she's definitely going to be coming by sometime this week and going, all right, where are them wines at?
Andrea, just come by in an hour. That'll be I'll be milking goats and you can try this.
So Chris, where can a person pick up a bottle of this, do you think? I mean, can we order it in at like a Trader Joe's or again a Market of Choice, something like that?
I'm sure that Market of Choice could order it. In fact, I think I've seen it there before. This one does follow suit with my trick from before regarding picking importers that you like. And this is imported by Kermit Lynch, who I absolutely love. Wonderful importer, brings a lot of really incredible wines in, takes great care of the wines when bringing them over from France, and really, really specializes in a lot of small producers. So travels the French countryside looking for unknown wines that really need to be showcased. And so it is worth saying that all of these wines that we have in front of us, very small producers. So you might see them, you might not. These are all family-owned wineries, and really kind of special things. But any good wine shop or any good supermarket with a wine department, like Market of Choice, they can order this stuff for you. And if they can't get exactly this bottle, they'll get you in the right direction. They'll get you to somewhere you want to go. So Chenin Blanc, Loire Valley, oh baby, yeah.
Is there anything grown in Oregon that is similar to the Chenin Blanc?
Not to my knowledge.
California, Washington?
There are some Chenin Blancs that I've had from Central California that really do some beautiful things. But Chenin Blanc's one of those varietals that just never really picked up in the New World so much. So there are some areas, but it's kind of a specialty thing.
And so the Chenin Blanc then is going to need a warmer climate, lower altitude, protected by some mountain ranges. It's not going to be found in any coastal areas. The Willamette Valley is going to be too cold and too high for that, correct?
Willamette Valley is going to be too cold generally, possibly also too wet. I actually, some of the best Chenin Blancs that I've had stateside have come out of the Chalon AVA in Central California there, and so this is Monterey County, up in the mountains, and so very high altitude. But not necessarily hot. Once again, you've got that valley that open up to the sea to moderate the temperature. It's beautiful wines. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some producers in Southern Oregon making Chenin Blanc. It's definitely something that needs more exploration stateside.
This is fabulous.
Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with this wine. And there's just a little bit on the nose of like celery greens to me.
Really?
Yeah, I had to throw that in there because I was proud of myself for realizing it, but then I started second guessing myself, and I'm like, I don't know.
And you don't even like celery.
But celery salt is good.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I always put celery salt in my potato salad and my coleslaw. That's not everybody does that, but I love that.
And I'll apologize. We are going to get off on a little bit of a tangent, but Cory Ann made this potato salad that is crazy good. It is
barbecue rib meat potato salad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Had some ribs left over. I know, a sacrilege.
Yeah, when does that ever happen? But it was a big rack of ribs, and there was only 3 of us.
Man, it was a fat rack of ribs. And,
that's what she said.
But we stripped all the meat off the bones and mixed it into this potato salad, which had barbecue seasoning in it.
Yeah. So instead of doing a mustard mayo dressing, I did a barbecue mayo dressing because the mustard brings that vinegar, the bite, which we used Bomax barbecue sauce, which is a local barbecue company. We love them. Great family. And
I just loved that potato salad.
It was good. It
turned out super good.
We had a bunch of bakers that we had done on the grill, and so we had leftover baker potatoes, the big, just normal bakers, and you chopped them up with skin. And we did fresh chicken eggs. I like hard-boiled eggs in my potato salad, and then the rib meat, some thin sliced onion. I like that nice bite that the onion gives. And then this barbecue salad dressing.
And the reason why I'm bringing it up is I kind of feel like this wine might pair pretty well with that.
I kind of feel like we're having this with the duck breast tonight.
You couldn't, I think
with
she's
asparagus
right.
and potato salad.
I'd be really happy about throwing this at some duck breast. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. Lots of things that have to be thrown at duck breasts.
Chenin Blanc is one of the most food-friendly wines out there.
Why don't this needs to be everywhere? Everyone should have Chenin Blanc. That is my food for thought, knowledge for life. Get Chenin Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could grow it in
Do I have
Oregon.
it queued up here?
Yes.
Yeah, the more you know.
Perfect.
All right, Chris, we've got one more
I'm so
to
excited.
take a look at here. What is going on with this last one?
All right. So we have the Jean-Claude Dagenot Puy Fumé.
I was waiting for you to say Van Damme, but that's okay.
And
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I love this wine.
That's okay.
Ooh, that smells good, though. Let me see the bottle. So talk to us a little bit about this wine, Chris. What is going on here?
all right. So Puy Fumé is Sauvignon Blanc from the far end of the Loire Valley. So this is the furthest inland.
Oh my goodness.
And generally, this Puy Fumé isn't the absolute furthest, but if you generally took the Loire Valley into 3 segments, this is the furthest inland segment of the Loire. And yeah,
Very aromatic.
very aromatic in a very different way. Right?
This summarizes what we're talking about here. Light, crisp, easy drinking. This is a beat the heat summer wine right here. I see why you held this to last, because this is a beautiful, light, easy drinking wine.
You know what is perfect for this time of year? This smells like irises.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody really understands that. I shout out to my friend Kelly. She's an acupuncturist in Portland, but I worked with her for a couple years, and her favorite smell was irises. You know, you're thinking lavender, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate chip cookies. Nope. Girlfriend pulls out irises. I had never thought about that
Mm-hmm.
until I started. We went to, it's a bunch of iris fields out in the Kaiser, Oregon area.
Mhm.
And it is this fabulous aromatic citrus perfume floral, but not like your grandmother perfume floral.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And so I grow about 5 different varieties of irises in my front yard, and I love that smell. And I always think of Kelly when I do this, but this is 100% what irises smell like, with a little bit of like guava.
It is a bit floral in a
Mhm.
very good way.
Yep. So
So
if I were to say Sauvignon Blanc,
good. Mm-hmm.
where would your mind go regarding flavors?
I would have gone more like a citrus with some like hay, like
Mhm.
Mhm.
sun-dried hay.
You're describing California Sauvignon Blanc right there.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
If I was going to
Um,
do California Sauvignon Blanc, Oregon, I would be a little more citrusy, green
Very
apple.
crisp. Yeah, exactly.
mhm.
Apple, to reflect that acidity.
Yeah, more grassy
Mhm.
vegetal and less like
Mhm.
sun-dried hay. This is not that.
No. And you get a little bit of that grassiness there, little maybe lemongrass or something, but it is dominated by other flavors.
Mm. Oh my gosh. What is this? What are we getting? There's a little Gewürztraminer, little lychee hanging out in there, but definitely plenty of citrus to balance it out. Lime, kaffir leaf.
I would love to hear
Absolutely.
from any chefs that are listening right now if you've experienced any of these French wines. This is an absolute stunner, though.
This screams seafood.
I can't honestly believe that this is 12.5% alcohol, because
No.
it's so refreshing.
It's
Yep.
a little tart on the back of the
Mhm.
palate. You're not getting that like buttery, smooth, creamy mouthfeel that we had from the other two.
Somehow
No.
I feel like this is in between the other two for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of weight, I would go there as well, kind of in between, but very different flavor wise. I also see this distinct flintiness on the palate. There's a mineral aspect that really runs through the palate, and I'm actually still tasting in my mouth right now after the last sip.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about, right? Traveling up the Loire, going to a couple of these different varietals that they grow in different parts that they have been growing for generations upon generations, and hearing the land speak through the glass to you.
Mhm. There's if I was going to describe a vegetable spice, I would go with thyme, like fresh
Mhm.
thyme.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the background. This also to me screams, I want to go with buttered scallops,
Yes.
and thyme goes well with those bitter greens. I'm so impressed with this.
I am too.
I wouldn't put this with anything harder than a pork chop or maybe a chicken breast. I think this goes great with seafood, even though it's from a mid-valley, inland valley.
Mhm.
Oh, this is good. I'm
Mhm.
so impressed with you, Chris. You are my favorite person. I mean, who knew you could just take us on such a journey of grapes that, are similar to what we have here, somewhat similar to things that are grown in California, but totally off the charts different. Amazing. It's just amazing how the land will change how one grape tastes in one place to another.
Mhm.
I'm super excited.
So you mentioned scallops earlier.
Yes.
And I just would just destroy a plate of scallops with any one of these.
Yep. I have scallops in the freezer. We should do
Oh,
that.
you're killing me.
Okay. What about swordfish though?
Swordfish is pretty. You think it could stand up to swordfish, or would you go back to the second one?
Oh, yeah. I would go back to the second
The
one.
swordfish is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I think it could definitely stand up to like a cod and a halibut,
Mm-hmm.
but swordfish is pretty meaty.
Cod and a halibut. Why does that sound like an insult? You know what I mean? How's he doing? He's cod and a halibut.
I don't know where your brain went.
I don't know.
Oh,
It just
man.
sounds like one of those funny old timey things, you know.
But this could go
Hey,
good.
how's your dad doing? He's between a cod and a halibut.
That's like How I Met Your Mother and Marshall, how he's just like likes to say fish.
Yeah.
names and thinks it's funny. I love it.
Red
Exactly.
snapper. Ooh, this could do a red snapper, really. My mother's favorite fish is a red snapper.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Random piece of information.
You guys, these wines, I'm absolutely blown away. Seriously,
Out
they're
of
so
the
good.
Park.
I think that this might be my number one out of the three.
Really?
The Jasnier, is that right, Jasnier?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
We
I
add
think
letters
that's-
and drop them in French. Who knows?
that is an extraordinarily close second. And then the first wine that we tasted is an extraordinarily close third. I really could be swapping these up at any given time.
Just depends on the dish.
And it depends on the temperature of the wine as well, because they change quite a bit as they heat up, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And so, I'm glad you mentioned temperature. Definitely recommend drinking all of these wines at a slightly cooler temperature there than maybe we normally would drink our Chardonnay at. Very, very fresh, very light, and chill them down just a little bit more. As you saw as we went through, they're not shy. Those flavors are coming out, right? So the more you chill something, the less the flavor you're going to get, also the less the alcohol you're going to get, and it's going to change how you perceive everything on the palate. But these ones, you chill them, it's not going to hurt the flavor. I mean, you don't want them, Coors like cold, but you don't want the blue mountains.
I am just, my brain is thinking it wants Gewürztraminer, but that is it's not what's in the glass at all.
Oh, you're talking about the Justinier?
Yeah, between the two, I smell a lot of that lychee fruit, that tropical fruits, very aromatics coming off of this, but that's not what the palate gets. And I'm just tripping balls over here. It's crazy.
Well, so far for tastings, what I've heard has been whitefish, scallops. What do we think as far as veg? I mean, like I said about the Jasnier, it's got kind of like a little bit of a celery greens thing going on. So I feel like something like that might be able to lend itself to an arugula salad.
Yeah, it would rock an arugula salad or asparagus.
I could even see squash, some roasted squash with these.
Are we thinking summer or winter squash?
Summer squash, maybe.
For sure.
So zucchini, crookneck. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something thin skinned, something where you might even be able to eat the skin,
Mhm.
and it has to be cooked over an open fire. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, sure.
These wines would not abide by anything broiled in the oven.
You want that smoke and char.
I
on
want that
everything.
smoke and char. Yes.
Little
One
smoke.
little smoke and char. I
Mhm.
also well, okay, so tonight we're gonna do some pork chops, and
Good choices.
I'm gonna pull some fresh herbs from the garden here,
Mm.
and do some herbs, some butter, give it a quick fry on each side in the pan, finish it in a warm oven to cook it through, and I think it's gonna go down great with these last two. The first one, the Muscadet, that's what I'm gonna drink while I'm making them. Maybe use it to deglaze the pan.
We could
Mhm.
definitely work our way through seafood. I mean, we've got lobster and scallops. I went on a seafood kick, but we've got lobster and scallops. We have cod and halibut and smoked salmon and swordfish in the house. So we could work our way through, and these wines would all pair fabulously if we did a giant seafood craziness.
We'll definitely keep talking about it because, I'm not hungry enough as it is.
No, not at all. All of these, I think, could handle shellfish really well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that some of this would just kill with some mussels and a butter garlic sauce.
I agree over the pasta for sure.
Mhm.
I was actually wondering, this is going to come way off of the wall, but I am curious, what would you think about one of these wines, probably the Josnier or the
first one, the
Pouilly? I'm considering them with a little bit of that arugula pesto that you made.
Oh.
And I'm wondering if any of these, because these are not, how should I put this? These are not wines that would shy away from food, in my opinion.
I would do
They
the last one,
scream.
with pesto.
Yeah,
They
I want
scream for food.
I want to get a little creative with it. I really do. Maybe if we did the mussels and the clams in a butter sauce,
Mhm.
put it over some pasta that was tossed with some basil and lemon.
Yeah, I think any citrus would go
Mhm.
well with this.
Mhm.
And use some of this wine to make that butter sauce.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
I'm throwing it out there. Especially the all of them would be great in that sauce, but especially I'm going to tell you, cook with Muscadet, you will not be sad.
Yeah.
Can I get a little bit more of that Muscadet from you?
Yes, sir.
I want to revisit this, Chris.
Happiness.
That's good.
And so I do want to touch, while you revisit it, I do want to touch a little bit about price point here. All of them are are fairly affordable. The Muscadet, and I'm just going to touch on not these specific wines, but really the range of what you're going to look for in these areas, right? Muscadet, you're like $10 to $15 a bottle. Chenin Blanc from the mid Willamette, or from not the Willamette Valley, green. Chenin Blanc from the mid Loire Valley. There, you're talking, your Vouvray. You're generally looking at somewhere around 20. And then Pouilly-Fumé, you can get into it around, a lot of times around 25, and then it goes up from there up to 50. These are all very, very representative wines of the area, and kind of in the middle of those ranges. I will say I'm just in love with both of these last two wines. You see me looking off, it's because I'm like eyeing the bottles very aggressively here. If I was at a bar and this is a girl, I'd be getting slapped by my fiance. Just saying. So yeah, I'm just quite taken by all these.
I'm so impressed. I keep going back, and I'm thinking of lots of food pairings. Any of our chef followers, if you've had these wines, if you've cooked with these wines, if you've recommended these, please shout out to us, because our minds are going crazy. I mean, I wouldn't do any of these with a steak.
No. But you don't typically do white with a steak anyway, so I completely understand.
Unless it's bubbly and it was charred.
There is
Mhm.
Like caveman style steak and a bubbly wine, I think could handle it. But none of these I would do with a steak.
Speaking of which, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there for a future episode. We probably should do a mead tasting, and we
Yes.
need
Oh,
to
yeah.
barbecue in real time, because time wise, historically, I think that those probably fell pretty close to each other.
In terms of the evolution of cooking,
Mm-hmm.
I like this.
and when it was developed versus when humans started cooking meat.
Well, no, I mean, those are hundreds of thousands of years apart. I have no doubt.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, give us a little Viking sense.
Oh, we're going Vikings.
Yeah.
My
Mm.
wheelhouse. I have so much Viking in me. It's
Yeah.
not even crazy. Those are my people.
What are we going to do? Are we going to do like a little rabbit and maybe a smoked rack
I think
of
like a goat
pork?
on a spit.
A goat on a spit? We could
Oh,
do that.
done. Done.
Man, Chris, you really outdid yourself this week.
I'm so
Thank you,
impressed.
my friend.
Chris, cheers to you, babe.
Thank
Cheers.
you both. Here.
That was an
Um,
incredible time. And I encourage anybody to go out and try to find these wines. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a list of these wines. I'll put them in the description of the videos, and then underneath of this podcast episode, you'll be able to find the names of these wines, because I really do want people to go out and find them.
Yeah, go to your local wine shop, and
Mhm.
just say, "Hey, can we get these? Can you order these in for
Your
me?"
local booze monger.
every single wine shop or decent market will have one of these or something similar to it. So you're talking New Seasons. I know has a lot of this stuff. A lot of Safeways or Albertsons. Actually, they generally have really great wine departments. Roths. Oh, I love the wine department at Roths. They're going to have a lot of this stuff. And you just have to dig for it a little bit. And at these price points, there's nothing to lose with any of these wines. Get outside the box a little bit and experiment, and see where the rabbit hole takes you.
Oh,
I love that.
this would go good with rabbit.
Yes.
Oh,
I think
any of these would, yeah.
little rabbit,
And-
little goat, maybe a little
I wouldn't do goat. That might be a little heavy. But rabbit, it could do. I'm so impressed. But seafood for me is really where this is at.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Chris, I am so impressed with you. I mean, you surprise us constantly, and you rarely ever let us astray unless we were all going down at one big temple.
Mhm.
So, dude, cheers to you.
Yeah.
Good
cheers to you,
choice.
my friend. Thank
You
you.
were
Thank you.
Big
And
hugs.
cheers to you guys for continuing to watch, and for talking to us and sharing with a friend and just enjoying the content that we're making. We really do appreciate that. We appreciate you, and we rely on you to be able to do this show. So cheers to you for doing it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Cheers. And if there's anything you want to hear about, if there's anything you want us to dive into with you, let us know. Lead us down that rabbit hole. We'll go with you. It'll be fun.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We
So
love out of the box.
on that note,
Hmm.
thanks you guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Chris.
Anybody that wants to see what we're doing, Facebook at Pardon My Fork, Instagram at Pardon My Fork. Of course, you can follow us on all major platforms for podcasts, and you can find us there. So once again, for Cory Ann and Wine Guy Chris, this is Andy, and we will see you next time.